Welcome to episode 89 of the Cycling Europe podcast. My name is Andrew Sykes and I'm in the centre of Bradford, the UK City of Culture 2025, and more specifically, I'm in the middle of a very noisy centenary square just beside the magnificent Gothic town hall. It's noisy because of all the fountains around me. First time visitors to Bradford must be a bit surprised, because it's got a reputation as being a run-down, grimy northern city, but actually there's a lot going for it. I mentioned the Gothic architecture. The standout example is now a branch of Waterstones, the old corn exchange. It could quite easily be found in Florence. It's just a magnificent building, and they've just pedestrianised the entire city centre, so there are no cars to contend with. And from the perspective of a cyclist, it's a great place to start a visit to the Yorkshire Dales, because there's a segregated off-road cycle route all the way from the city centre, which takes you to Shipley, stop off at Saltaire if you want for Salts Mill, and then it joins the Canal, which is what I'm going to be doing in a few minutes. In Bingley, the canal, it goes up quite a bit. There's a set of 3 locks, and then there are a set of 5 locks, and north of Bingley the canal just clings to the side of the hill. Back on the towpath. Google didn't really help. It wanted to send me on the main road that you can still hear just to my left. So instead I went over the canal, along the old Skipton road, through quite a steep housing estate that brought me back onto the Skipton road, and a very pleasant ride back down to the canal at the point where they're no longer doing the improvements. And it's about 4 miles up until I get to Skipton. Short pause in Skipton to go to the bank and just to sit and watch the world go by in the churchyard. And I'm now at another church. This one is in Empsey with Eastby. I think that's 2 villages that have kind of merged into one over the years. It is picture perfect, and it's beautiful weather, and it's warm. I've de-layered. I'm now down to 3 layers rather than 4 that I set off with, and I needed those at the beginning of the day, but I certainly don't need 3 now. So it may be a case of de-layering again in a few minutes. I'm now following the Yorkshire Dales cycleway with its distinctive ram signage. It's not part of the National Cycle Network, but I suspect I might be following it quite a bit over the next couple of days, and I'm certainly going to be following it as far as Appletreewick, or kind of nearly. I think I've got a branch off it to get to Appletreewick itself, but I've got a hill to climb. I can see it in the distance, and I'm beginning to regret not having something to eat in Skipton. I'm going to have to survive on that bacon butty that I had when I was in Bingley. Saturday morning, 7 a.m, Mason's campsite, Appletreewick. It's very cold. I suppose that's what comes with going camping in the middle of April, even if it is very, very warm during the middle of the day, which it certainly was yesterday. It was a steep climb out of Empsey, more than I expected. Good views from the top of the hill, and then a gradual downward cycle towards Burnsall. I've done it before, but clearly I've completely forgotten what it's like to cycle up from Empsey and then down into Burnsall. Burnsall is in quite a spectacular setting, and there were hundreds of people in the fields next to the river yesterday afternoon, making the most of the sun. I just went and had a pint of beer in the pub before later in the afternoon making my way down to Appletreewick, which is not very far, set up the tent, and then went up to the other pub, the Derwent Arms, for a burger and chips and another beer. I really am unsure as to what I'm going to do. I'm not going to cycle, but I'm really unsure as to what I'm going to do today. And the plan for tomorrow, as it stands, is to cycle back to Skipton for the parkrun. I've been doing the parkrun now since, autumn of last year, and I thought, this is an opportunity of doing a parkrun elsewhere other than the one in Greenhead Park in Huddersfield. But whether I can get back to Skipton in time, I would need to be there about 8:30. And it took me a good hour and a half to get to Appletreewick from Skipton yesterday. So I have to think carefully. That hill in the opposite direction is no mean feat. I might have to find an alternative route, but that's still the plan for tomorrow.